Yo, what's up, my YouTube fam? And welcome to My Point of View Movie Reviews. Another retro joint, another Spike Lee joint. March the 22nd, 1996. Girl 6 hit the big screen. And I was highly anticipating this movie because just a year before this movie came out, I got a chance to meet Spike Lee in person. He came to Sacramento to Sac State University, gave a speech for a couple hours, met him, got his autograph. It was cool. And during that whole speech in that auditorium, he was talking about just finishing the movie Girl 6. And he mentioned Quentin Tarantino's name of Madonna. I'm like, what? I can't wait to see this movie. And the premise of this movie is a trip. It was the 10-year anniversary since She's Gotta Have It. So he wanted to go back to a female lead in a movie to represent the 10-year anniversary. And Theresa Randle was the lead female in Girl 6. She was in a couple of other previous Spike Lee joints. She was in Malcolm X, and she was also in Jungle Fever. A lot of you guys are thinking, well, I don't really know who she is. Well, she played Martin Lawrence's wife in all three Bad Boys movies. That's Theresa Randle. It also starred Spike Lee and also Isaiah Washington. Now, this movie has a bunch of cameos. Naomi Campbell, the beautiful model. Madonna is in this movie. Quentin Tarantino playing himself is in this movie. This movie is a trip. The premise, Theresa's character, she's a struggling actress. She wants to break into the big leagues and be an actress. She's been studying. She's been going to casting calls, trying to be extras. I mean, you have to wear a bathing suit in the freezing cold to do a summer scene, but you don't really know that it's cold because that's the way it's set up. She has an agent. He finally got her the break of her life. An interview reading with QT himself, Quentin Tarantino. He's the hottest director in Hollywood at the time, and he's doing a blaxploitation movie. Well, she gets to the set, she interviews, she auditions, and Quentin is not very impressed. He goes, you know what, babe? Show us your breasts. She was reluctant. He goes, look, this is Hollywood. Show me your breast. She reluctantly pulls down her blouse, bears her sweater puppets, and she's uncomfortable. She covers herself up and walks out. Her agent is pissed. All these years, I got you all the way to Hollywood, to the biggest director in town, and you walk out? She goes, yeah, I couldn't do it. I could not bear my breast. I didn't feel comfortable. So now she has no job. She needs to make money quick and fast because the bills do not stop. She gets introduced to phone sex. She interviews. She stars right away. It's easy. And what do? Well, you gotta have a sexy voice, several personalities. Even though you're black, you might have to play a white woman. Even though you're black, you might have to play a Latina. Even though you're black, you might have to, play a Swedish woman or something. So your acting ability will come into play in this job. And by the way, your Girl 6. When people call in and push 6, the call's coming to you. Hence the title of the movie, Girl 6. Spike Lee is known for having great soundtracks for all his movies. This movie is no exception. This movie, the whole soundtrack is done by Prince. Yeah, the Prince did the soundtrack for Girl 6. Spike Lee, I don't know how he does it, man, but damn. First Jungle Fever with Stevie Wonder, and now Prince for Girl 6. Astonishing. This movie is a dark comedy because the things these women say over the phone is hilarious. You got to remember, this is 1996. Back then, 800 numbers was a big thing. You know, it was way before the internet really got popular. So you had a lot of horny men with big bank accounts calling in to get off over the phone. Some wanted to be treated like animals, dogs, or they want you to play the dirty little maid. You made a mess on the floor, you clean it up, I'm gonna get behind you and mound you and do what we do. This movie, if you have a problem with people talking dirty and sexy, well, don't watch Girl 6. This movie is extremely sexy and it's really cool. Her relationship with her ex is not getting any better. He's tried to get back together, but you know what? She's cool on her own. Her next door neighbor inside the apartment complex is Spike Lee's character. And you know, he's always talking to her. Hey, what's up with homeboy? You're not getting back together. You got this new gig, making mad money, phone sex. What's up with that? Well, you can be too into your job and it can consume your life. And when you're playing multiple characters, you lose yourself. And she got deeper and deeper and deeper into the role. And the lady that hired her told her, look girl, don't get caught up. Get these men off, hang up the phone, move on to the next customer. Do not meet none of these men in real life. If they're local, don't do it. It can be dangerous because you never know. And Madonna's character comes into the movie. Look, I work from home. You can make more money, never leave your house. Why get up and go to an office every day? So she takes Madonna's advice, gets her a headset from the company, works from home for Madonna now. And Madonna said, now you're unrestricted. You can do whatever you want to do. You can get real nasty. And that's what she does. This one caller keeps calling her over and over. He sounds like a creep, but he likes her. She makes the mistake of thinking she's falling in love with this guy, with this character. Come to find out this guy's a creep, he's a killer, he's a stalker. Man, you know, good thing for her ex-boyfriend still loving her, helping her out. Her neighbor, Spike Lee, helps her out. And this movie is very unique because throughout the course of the movie, when she's playing these different characters, it changes and it's cool. She still is striving to be an actress. So as she's making these calls or answering these calls, she's like thinking of something else, being a Hollywood female star. And it goes back and forth. It's cool. The movie's funny. The movie's dark. It's an awkward love story, but it shows you how you can get lost in a job and lose yourself because of money and false love. Girl 6 is a trip. It's not for everybody. This is one of the Spike Lee movies that probably really hardcore Spike Lee fans like. A lot of people had a hard time accepting this movie. It's a trip. It's offbeat. But I seen it opening night in theaters. I loved it. It was released by Fox Searchlight at the time. I remember seeing the commercials on Fox 40 all the time. Spike Lee's new joint is coming out. They would show her doing Martin and Living Single all the time. And yeah, this movie did okay. It wasn't a big hit and things like that, but the soundtrack was slamming it. It did well. But this is one of Spike Lee's movies. Like consecutively, he kept making movie after movie. The man just stayed busy in the 80s and 90s. Dude was dropping movies like Too Short, was dropping albums, man. The dude was absolutely consistent and prolific. And this is right up there. Yeah, you would think that Spike Lee worked with Madonna and Quentin Tarantino. Absolutely, he did. And this movie kind of opens up some demons of myself that I had. Like I said, during the 90s, phone sex was really popular. And I was a young entrepreneur. I was still working for UPS at the time. But I wanted to start my own business. This is way before I invented Blacktastic.net. Me and my cousin, we wanted to do something. He was struggling, trying to be a real estate broker. You know, UPS was cool, but I wanted my own gig. And we decided to get into the phone sex business. He had a house with a couple of bedrooms, I had a single, small little duplex, but his house was better to do the business. We purchased phones, headsets. We bought a 800 number. I was dating a girl at the time who used to do phone sex in Texas. So she gave us everything we needed to know. We hired a couple of girls. We had a couple of meetings. We were about to launch our business just in days. The girls were set up. They were happy. We had 3 girls. Each of them had 3 personalities, so we were straight. We agreed they would come over to Steve's house. We would do shifts, and I was in charge of the girls. He was in charge of the phone lines and the business part of it, and we was ready. Now, me and my cousin, we was both raised Jehovah's Witness, and at the very end, before we launched our business, our conscience came into play. We said, man, I cannot seriously hand out a business card to people knowing that we're doing smut. And we backed out at the last minute after we invested in phones and had girls working. It was, our conscience just wouldn't let us. And we probably would have made a lot of money, but the business of smut, I just couldn't do it. I mean, like, I was in charge of the girls. I'd have to sit there and listen to these girls talk dirty over the phone, and some got different ways of getting themselves off after they're talking, if you know what I mean. I didn't want no parts of that, man. Like I said, one of the girls I was dating, it was a little bit uncomfortable. But yeah, Girl 6, a Spike Lee joint with a soundtrack that's slamming by Prince. Check it out. If you're into that kind of thing, then you really will like it. But this movie has incredible dialogue, if you know what I mean. And there's a lot of other cameos in this movie, and you'll be surprised who's in this movie getting turned out. Until next time, be sure to like, share, subscribe, tell all your friends, and more importantly, leave your comments down low. If I offend you, then you don't understand me. But if I can inspire you, then you will learn to love me. Peace. Until next time, yo, it's just my point of view. Hello. Now, I hope you really enjoyed this video. Without you, there's no me. And do us a favor, stop by the website at www.blacktastic.net and pick up some merchandise. Get yourself a hat or pick up a t-shirt. It's things like that that help keep the channel going. And also, feel free to leave a donation on the home page at www.blacktastic.net. Thank you all so much. Again, you make this so much fun. Without you, there's no me. Until next time, see you later.